Okay, really what I'm doing here is drawing the main character and kind of a rough layout of the background. Then I'm going to take it into Illustrator in the computer and really clean it up real nice and put the color in and everything. So really what I'm doing here is by pencil drawing the main character. Now this one I've done is the peacock. So I just drew the body and a couple of feathers. And then I can just repeat and manipulate the couple of feathers. And I'm going to, that's a note to himself, like I know what this means. I'm going to put the swirlies on top of the peacock's head. And yeah, I've done like 10 in a day, and this one is the ladybug. You know, again, I've drawn mainly the main character up here, and then the swirlies around it. This is going to be the lightning bug, and these are ants. That's not the best one. Here's a cool one, the bee. You know, so I've got a bunch of drawings of snake. So I've got all these drawings that I'm going to do. I think I'm going to make 47 cards, grasshopper. I've done like, this is my 10th one, I think, today. And then I'm going to stop. But I was going to put the camera, I've gathered up a bunch of reference, which is so cool nowadays. You can just get photo reference like so easily just from Google. And I'm just going to look at a bunch of them. I've got kind of an idea of what I want to do. And I also is wanting to try is like speeding up the camera. You know, this, so I'm going to draw it. I'm going to record the whole thing of me drawing it regularly. I hope you can see it. And then I'm going to, you know, take it in and speed the camera up so you can, you know, watch it being created in at least amount of time. So I'll be referring to these things up here. I've kind of got, I don't know if you can say, just sort of really roughed in. I want like a triangular face here. I want to put his, let's see, pull this up so you can really see it. I hope this is going to turn out. I've got sort of a triangular face roughed in, a tail. I want to put some berries as some of the ornamentation because they eat berries. And that can be like kind of key. So let me, these are all my ideas for animals, but there's only going to be 47 in and I might call it, what you call it, not chapter 1, first edition. No, that's not what I was thinking before either. I can't remember. Not chapter 1, what was I going to call it? Well, I was going to kind of do the 47 in the deck and sort of leave it open for more to come in later. So let's try to zoom in. Hopefully this is going to pick it up. I already did a line because the tarot cards are going to be real narrow. So I already like drawn a line. This is sort of the margin over here, and then this is the main area. All right, so here I go. I'm not going to talk while I'm drawing. Volume 1, that's what I was going to call it. Animal Totem Cards, Volume 1. Okay. So that would leave it open if I wanted to add more later. Okay, so let's get started drawing the fox. Again, this is going to be all cleaned up in Illustrator. I'll go through and make it super neat and super, you know, graphic artist it up, baby. So this is going to be it. This is the fox. This is going to be his tail swooping in on one side, and then I'm going to have foliage and little berries around on the other side. So there you go, fox. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we are at phase 3 finally, and I was just pulling up some imagery to look at this color. There's a lot of subtle color. This is going to be a tough one. There's like dark and red, and I shouldn't have picked this one maybe for the video in hindsight, but this is like the very last one here. This is kind of like when I did the raccoon. It was really hard to get. There's so many gradients of different coloring, but we're going to give it our best shot. One of the things I did on the drawing right off is I shrunk it down, those eyes. I opened it up and it had these giant eyes. I said, oh, that's not right. So I forgot to pull out the tape for that, but if you were watching it this far and you saw I had big eyes, I just made the eyes smaller. As I was going through and trying to make sure we have no open holes. So first thing, let's copy the main part of the... I got a glass here, we're going to have to move it. The main part of this drawing, and go into Photoshop and paste it in there. Paste. Well, maybe that copy didn't take. Hold on. Copy. Copy. Excuse me. And paste. It's pixels. I've been just pasting as pixels because that's the old way. I haven't really looked into those other pasting options in these newer version of Illustrator. Okay, I need the fox to be all his face on screen, on canvas here, or whatever. Let's just say, okay, I can transform it further. See, these lines, I've got this set up. Let's see if you can see. It's with two sets of guides. The inner guides is the crop area for the card template, and the outer is for the prints. So the prints are a little bit further out. Okay, so what I want to do before I even really fine-tune precision it, let's make sure there's no holes in here. So I'm going to select this, and there is a hole, because see, the selection is running outside of the head. I thought I went over this pretty good. Okay, let's check the tail. The tail's intact. The tail is not leaking, so to speak. And this part is not leaking. So the leak is in the head. Just from looking at it, it almost looks like it might be this. Oops. Excuse me. Plus. Oh, are those opened? So you got to blow it up really big and go around and look to see if you can find where the leak is. No, it's not there. It's probably going to be, it might be over here. I think I see a leak over here. Yeah, there's a few, and rather, I guess I could go back into Illustrator. Okay, let's go back into Illustrator. I was going to try to draw it. You could either draw it with the pen. I've got my paintbrush tool here. And you can like draw it in, but it's kind of tedious and harder. To maintain, like that, see? But to maintain the really clean lines, I see there's more than one of them. I'm going to go ahead and go back into Illustrator. I thought I just really went over this thing with a fine-tooth comb. I guess not as fine-tooth as I thought. Yeah, see, these up here are not quite. There's a few. Alright, so then let's blow it up. Let's get the, what you call it, select tool, this kind of select tool. Close that gap. There's another one. Close that gap. Here's another one. Close that gap. This looks like it might be a tinge open here too. Okay, let's give another check to this side. Looks pretty tight. Let's continue up through the whole. Let's check the tips of the ears. Look good. Over here looks good. Actually, this is a hair overlapping. I'm gonna fix that. This might be a tinge. Connect that. I don't want to have to keep coming back. It's better to just go over it one time and make sure everything's, you know, connect all the dots. Here's another one. Then you're not having to keep just fixing one, pasting, fixing one. Let's go through and really check every single one. And then this seems to be just a hair, maybe. Didn't quite get it. There you go. Okay. There we go. And then one down here again. Close that. Check the bottom real quick. Looks good. Okay, let's zoom back out. Get my black select to select everything. Copy. Go back into Photoshop. Shrink that down to a good size. I'm going to delete that layer that I have there. Do you want to delete this layer? Yes, I do. And repaste the new drawing as pixels. Yes. Get it down to about the right size. I'll finesse it a little later after we check again for holes. And hit yes. Get my select tool. And it's cool. It's contained. So there's no more leaks. Okay, I don't know. I think we're going to have to, I'm going to transform again and get the size right. I might have to, let's see how this works now. A little bit like this. Stomach's growling. I haven't had any breakfast yet. Okay. Okay, I like that. I've got enough space over here and above and on this side. So I'm going to name this layer Fox. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing over here, but what I'm going to do is name the layer Fox. And then I'm going to duplicate it. Okay. Duplicate layer. The reason I'm duplicating Fox copy, that's fine. The reason that I duplicate it is because when you want to go in and select an area, like I want to select the head like I just did, once you've added a bunch of gradients and stuff, you can't really select it anymore. It's going to be, I'm just going to throw a red gradient in there and show you. Or here, this isn't going to be the color, I'm sure, but I'm just going to say okay, and I'm going to say, and do that. Okay, and I'm going to say, it might be the color. I'm going to say deselect. And then if I want to go back and I'm way down the road, and I say, oh, I want to alter this or change it. See, it's gonna be in these little weird sections. So this way, if you have another layer underneath, you can still select it and go up. Another way to do this would have been to direct select. Save all the selections. Like do the head, save the selection, do the tail, save the selection, do the eyes, save. But it's much faster just to make another copy that's just only a template. I'm going to get rid of this, and I have this other one underneath. So then I can still go through and select everything I need to select. So that's the way I work. Okay, so I'm going to deselect this. I'm going to turn on some music. And I'm sure I think the rest of this is going to be just like a fast forward for you guys. I just wanted to give a little brief intro. And I'm going to be listening to music while I do this instead of listening to myself talk. Okay, check right back. Okay, I'm going to start talking. I'm coming down to the very final thing here. So what I've done is temporarily flattened it. I always got to remember not to save it, because this way I can crop it at this size for the card. Select within that range. If you can see, let's blow it up really good. So there's two guidelines that are still there. Deselect, or the wider one, which is the for the prints. But I'm going to go ahead and do this one. I've already opened the card template. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to make sure I'm on the correct layer to paste into the card. And see, it's huge. It's way, way bigger than the card. So I'm going to hit Control T, which is transform, and start shrinking this puppy down. This fox down. So yeah, as I said, I picked one that's a little bit tricky with the coloring, and a fur creature too. I should have did one of the insects. It would have been a lot faster. Let's see, let me try to manipulate it like this, see if I went a little too far or not. And hit enter. Looks good. I want to blow it up just to be sure that I'm not missing anything around those edges. And I'm not. And let's see if I want to tweak the positioning at all. I might want to scoot it down just a hair. Let's see. Because I want to get this tail kind of down in there. I think that looks weird. It looks better like that. Okay, the only problem is, as you can see, that gives us a little bit of a gap at the top where the eye is. Oh, I want to scoot it a tinge to the right also. On that one, I'm going to just transform it, because a little bit of it won't really notice that much. Oh, shoot. There we go. Enter. And then on this, I guess I could, let's try. Let's see how weird it looks, if it looks weird or not. I would say it does not look weird. And that would even allow me a tiny more space to come down to. Yeah, I think I like that. So I'm wanting this space over here to be equal to this tail. It seems like it's a little off center. That's what I'm trying to scoot it this way as much as I can. That's a little, let's make sure, I'm going to blow it way up and make sure we haven't exposed any. Can even go a little more. Oh, that was one too many. See how that little thing popped up on the edge? If I go one too many, you can see that line. You got to blow it up to full size or close to it. Where am I at? Yeah, I'm at 200% to really notice that. But and then looks good. Let me just look at the top real quick. Make sure I didn't pull that. There's no light shining on the top or the bottom, and there's not. I've got to change the text from seagull to fox. I'm just putting in the this now because I'm doing all the art first, and then the other thing will come later. See, this is the center line here, this guide here, so it looks like we have to move this fox over right there. So it's front and center. I'm going to save this as Animal Card Project. Fox. Okay. And I am going to then save it as the card itself. Animal Cards Print. And we're going to change it to a JPEG in this time. And you see I have all the other ones in here. And then we're going to save. Okay. So there it is, from start to finish, which I went through with each and every one of these cards. Now, I don't know, sometimes I look at these and I come back to them and make some minor adjustments. That may happen on this one. I like to look at it on different devices, look at it on my phone, and see how it's going to look at different sizes, and sit with it for a little bit, kind of sit with it for a day or two. Yeah, with that painting in the bottom, it turned out pretty good. I was trying to do a gradient, and then I added little, you know, this darker stuff that's in the tail. I think it looks decent. It's still a cartoon or, you know, a drawing. It's not a it's not meant to be an exact replica. It's meant to be an interpretive piece. And with all of them, I always am asking for things to be there that are going to trigger people and trigger their subconscious. Okay, so here it is, Fox. So thank you for coming along with me on this journey. Be sure to pick up the deck. I'm going to put the link in the video if I can. If not, it'll be in the description. pick up the deck if you like it. A lot of work went into it. Here it is. I was glad to bring you along. Remember, you're love and beauty incarnate, and I'll speak to you soon.